The federal government has ordered the closure of the land borders in states where supplementary elections will be held on Saturday. A statement from the Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Mr. Mohammed Babandede, confirmed the order for the closure of land borders of Adamawa, Benue and Sokoto states from the Minister of Interior. The closure will be effective from 12 noon on Friday, March the 22nd, to 12 noon on Sunday, March the 24th, 2019. However, the statement does not include the closure of borders of Bauchi, Plateau and Kano states. According to the Interior Minister Abdul Rahman Dambazo, the development is to restrict movement across the borders of the affected states on election day. 47 political parties that participated in the just concluded governorship election in Imo State have vowed to challenge in court the declaration of the PDP governorship candidate Emeka Ihedioha as the winner of the election. The chairman and governorship candidates of the political parties involved say the declaration of Mr. Ihedioha as winner is an outright disregard for the Constitution. The candidates claim that INEC erred in declaring Mr. Ihedioha's victory since he did not meet the constitutional requirement of scoring 25% of votes in 2/3 of the entire state.
Any candidates that will be declared governor in Imo must have to thought and have widespread margin in all the local governments. A section of the states produce half of the votes. And this is not what the kind of democracy the future Imo citizens want and the Nigerian citizens want. We are also using this opportunity to call on the national chairman of INEC to withhold the certificate of return and make sure that all these anomalies is redressed as quickly as possible.
Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Markwe Ogun Yusuf. Markwe.
Hello, Ijoma. It's good to see you. Now, the prosecution has closed its case against the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onogen, before the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The prosecutor closed its case after calling 3 witnesses to the stand. Even though the government had listed 6 witnesses for the trial, government lawyer Ali Umar announced that the prosecution has closed its case. Our correspondent Tamaka Okafo has a report.
The trial of the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen, continued at the Code of Conduct Tribunal, where the federal government called 2 more witnesses before closing its case. The prosecutor, Mr. Aliu Umar, announced that the prosecution is closing its case shortly after the defendant finished the cross-examination of the 3rd prosecution witness, one Ifoma Okabwe, an official of a commercial bank who is the account manager to the suspended Chief Justice. The prosecution, in its application for the trial, has said it will call 6 witnesses to prove its case against Justice Onogen. However, at the end of the cross-examination, the lead prosecution witness said it will not be calling the remaining 3 witnesses, adding that he is offering them to the defense for cross-examination if they so wish. But counsel to the CJN, Mr. Adeboyega Wamalo, said the defense does not need the witnesses, adding that the prosecution can go ahead and close its case if it is done. Mr. Awomolo informed the tribunal of his intention to invoke Section 303 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act to enter a no-case submission. He pleaded with the tribunal to allow him prepare a written address and urged the chairman to order the registry to make records of proceedings available to him to guide him in the written address. The prosecution did not oppose the application, prompting the chairman of the tribunal, Mr. Danladi Umar, to order the registry to make available all the records of proceedings to the parties on Monday and adjourn the hearing in the no-case submission to March 29. Earlier at the proceedings, the account officer in her evidence-in-chief told the tribunal that Justice Onogen maintained 5 different accounts with her bank in Abuja. According to her, 2 of the accounts are in Naira, 1 savings and the other a current account, while the remaining are in pounds, dollars and euros. On the cross-examination, Ms. Okabwe said that Justice Onogen never made any foreign transfers from the account. The witness also said that Justice Onogen had a facility of $500,000 as of January 2019 with the bank, secured in bonds and other investments.
We have called our witnesses, we have tendered the exhibit. That is the duty of the prosecution, to put before the tribunal what was investigated, the fact that was discovered. Whatever the tribunal does with those facts are matters within its powers.
We were there, we took 3 witnesses or 2 witnesses, and we adjourned for no case submission. That's all we have done.
Justice Onogen is standing trial on a 6-count charge of failure to disclose some of his assets in his asset declaration forms submitted to the Code of Conduct Bureau in 2016. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
And staying here in Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to pursue all-inclusive and transparent policies that will guarantee security and safety of all in the next 4 years. The president was speaking when he received the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, led by the president, Mr. Chris Isiguzo, at the State House. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezioke, reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari, in the last few days, has received several visitors at the State House after his re-election. The latest is a delegation of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. The president told the group of plans to entrench a governance system devoid of corrupt practices, as he promised that security agencies will protect journalists who work in hostile environments.
I am sure you will all agree that the biggest threat to the sustainability and credibility of your profession is the uncontrolled and unregulated news platforms operating in the cyberspace. This is not only in Nigeria, but across the entire globe. Innocent lives have been lost or destroyed due to this fake news phenomena. I therefore seek your cooperation to bring a sustainable end to this menace. As I look to the next 4 years, I will remain committed to a safe and secure nation, creating an inclusive and diversified economy, and a governance system that is free of corrupt practices. In all these areas, we will remain transparent in implementing our policies.
Governors of Edo and Niger states equally paid the president a congratulatory visit. Briefing journalists afterwards, the governors are optimistic that the opposition claim of victory at the last general election is a mere figment of their imagination.
You heard the word, they're hallucinating.
It's clear, it's well written on the wall. You still believe that, yes, there was some shady dealings and probably want to go to court. I think from what I saw in Niger so far, this has been the free and it's a fairest election we've conducted so far.
The governors, who believe that the Independent National Electoral Commission did well in the conduct of the last elections, ask Nigerians to look forward to a free and fair conduct of the upcoming rescheduled governorship election. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
And sadly, suspected cultists have shot dead 2 corps members serving in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, leaving 1 other person injured. The gunmen stormed the corps members' residence along the school road at the Swali area of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, shooting dead 2 and leaving 1 critically injured. While one of the victims is said to have died immediately, the other victim, who struggled with the gunmen, died on his way to the hospital. A neighbor of the deceased corps members, who pleaded anonymity, said the suspected cultists, numbering about 6, arrived at their residence at about 10:30 p.m. The Bayelsa State Police Command has confirmed the attack with a promise to track down the perpetrators. And the Nigerian Army has deployed 197 troops comprising officers and soldiers to the Republic of Gambia on a peacekeeping mission. Addressing the troops during their pre-deployment ceremony in Jaji, Kaduna State, the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, warned the troops not to engage in activities that may compromise the nation's integrity. The exercise is expected to last for a few days.
Exercise with me. Begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, Nigerian soldiers showing the stuff they're made of. They are part of the 197-strong force due to depart for Gambia on a United Nations peacekeeping mission. This pre-deployment ceremony, taking place in Jaji, Kaduna State, is in line with the Nigerian Army's resolve to ensure that peace is maintained on the continent.
The philosophy behind the training is in line with the Army Headquarters' vision of deploying quality peacekeepers for peace support operations. The mission-specific training received by the unit is meant to provide troops with the requisite skills to enable them operate under the prevailing conditions in Gambia in the most professional manner.
Reminding the troops that charity begins at home, the Chief of Army Staff, through his representative, warns them not to engage in acts that could shame the nation.
I must caution you to avoid any ugly incident or incidents that could tarnish the image of the Nigerian Armed Forces in particular and the nation in general. I must categorically state that you are to discharge your duties in consonance with the mission's mandate at all times.
These men and women have undergone 4 weeks of intensive training in various exercises. There are great expectations that their activities will achieve the objective for which they are being sent.